Hey everybody, it's Jason.
And Julie.
That's right, she's back. Alright, so I know it's been a minute since we've done a video. We've both been in outage. We've had a few questions asking us about our little physics here. As far as road travel, how we travel, what we travel in, how we use the rig, CCC, GVRW. This video for you guys looking for turbos and nitrous and all that. This video ain't got none of that. We're gonna walk through this rig and show you how we travel ride, how we strap this thing down, how we load it. It's tight, and some things we've done to make this rig work for us. Just bear with us, hang out with us. We're gonna go through it. Appreciate y'all. You didn't have nothing you want to say?
No, not yet.
All right, guys. So changing gears a little bit. As you can see, that's our little physics. So, said it's Forest River. It's 2020 Forest River Salem FSX 280 RT. If you want to go look it up, it's not going to be a full, screw by screw, door by door type video. I'm just going to give you some highlights. Now, this little camper, we went from a 48-foot Road Warrior triple axle and downsized out of convenience. With that being said, we was met with some opposition along the way, but we've made it work pretty good. One thing's I'm gonna show you, we don't do garden hoses at all. We've got a couple garden hoses for washing the dog, filling up with city water, but anytime we're hooked up, we built a forever hose out of PEX. So this is 3/4 PEX. It's water hose PEX fittings. It's insulated with heat strip. We've had this hose 6 years. It's survived 3 rigs. About every 2 years I have to go through and re-insulate it and retape it, but it's a forever hose. Before we built this hose, we was buying 2 garden hoses a season. I keep the thing plugged in when we're here at the house so the battery stays hot. The 280 RT, we carry the Talon OMG. So y'all have seen the video on Mountain Goat. You know what we're off-roading with. The 280 was the only one big enough. It comes with 11.5-foot garage, and the front's the camper part. So when the Talon's in there, you've only got about 21 feet of camper, but it's fine for what we do. It is not 4 seasons rated. It's only 3. So we've got the chrome in the windows here, the heat shields, because the air conditioner it does keep up, but like right now today it's 96 degrees. It's mid-May. We're in Mississippi. It needs help. So we put the deflectors in, and it really helps. Makes the trailer dark, but it keeps it really cool. One thing's I'm gonna show y'all. We went from 14s to 15s. I got the wheels off the E-trailer, the tires. It was a wheel tire combo kit. Huge difference. So I traded out the factory Lippet bearings and went to a high-speed Z-rated bearing. When I did that, I put the 15-inch versus the 14-inch wheels and tires back on it. Now they're the same 265, 75, but these ended up being quite a bit bigger than the 14s. Well, the 14s, this trailer comes with a spare. What I did was I put the 2 tires, I built me a little rack, and I got 2 14-inch spares up under the trailer. Alright. Well, why would you do that? Well, 2 reasons. Number one, those tires that came on the trailer are junk. They're 4-ply, 6-ply, Maypops. I mean, they are junk. We had a failure with 2 months on them, and so I've traded out and went to these 15s. These are 8-plies. They're E-rated tire. No, I'm sorry, they're D-rated, Delta-rated tires. That other tire had a 1,700 pound loading per tire. These have a 2,100. So we gained 1,200 pound load capacity rating on tires just by going to a bigger tire. It's no impact to the wheel well, nothing like that. Also went from a low speed bearing to a Z-rated bearing that's rated for upwards of 90 miles an hour versus the factory ones that they suggest 60 mile an hour pulling. As far as external upgrades, that's pretty much it. It comes ready to ride. Small little trailer. It's not small. It's 36 feet, to answer one question. With the hitch, it's 36 feet. Livable from nose to tail is 32 feet. You got 11.5 foot toy hauler garage part, and then the rest is camper. Keep in mind, and Miss Julie's going to show you here in a minute, even the garage part, once the Talon's out, it's got a screen door, the back turns into a party deck, a porch, it's got bench seating, it's got tables, so it becomes part of the camper. It's just, it's kind of a weird space to use as far as livable. We eat back there, we don't entertain or watch TV back there. We've only got one TV in this rig and it's in the living room so we can watch the news. The big windows are nice, but same thing, you'll see even the big windows, we've got the heat shield in just so to help keep up. The party deck's really cool. We don't use it a lot, but we do use it. You can actually take these off and leave them at the house, or take them with you. They fold up against the door when it's up. They're not in the way or nothing, but it's a pretty nice little addition. All right, guys, hang on. All right, let's get down to some brass tacks. I'm gonna answer a couple specific questions. Number one, is this toy hauler made for side-by-sides? I'm gonna say yes. So when you do the paperwork on it, you run the math, and there's a lot of math that goes into it, I know that. But basically, after the trailer weight, after full tanks of water, you've got an additional 20, I believe it's 2250 load carrying capacity in the 280 RT. Now, it has nothing to do with the extra weight rating I put on the tires. Okay, the frame, the suspension, all of that has an additional load carrying capacity of around 2250, 2300 pounds. The Talon with the 32s, so you have to take into account the 32s are 16 pounds heavier times 4 than the 28s. So let's round it up, calling it even 50 pounds extra. So the Talon weighs 1,600 pounds. 1,650 with fuel, cooler, everything loaded down. So you've got to subtract that from your 2,200. So you've still got around 550 to 600 pounds of available weight loading that you can still put in this trailer after the Talon's in there. So by the time we put a couple duffel bags of clothes, some fishing poles, week's worth of groceries, whatever, we've still got probably 350, 400 pounds, and it's not a problem. Trailer pulls really good. Since I put the 15-inch wheels on it, I don't worry about the blowouts. The trailer handles everything really well, which brings me to my other, I had another question about loading the Talon with the CG, the center of gravity. So the motor in the Talon is in the rear, and with the Talon loaded, it puts the weight of the engine at the back door. And I had a question about, wouldn't it be better CG wise to back the Talon in? And Chris, you're probably right, it probably would be, but the tolerances are so tight. To back that thing in, it would be horrible. Not only that, had I've ever had any wiggle or any trailer walk going down the road that I could blame on the Talon being loaded like it is, I might try something different. Fact of the matter is, I've hauled the Pioneer 700, if y'all remember Bluebird. We've had Mountain Goat. I've loaded every one of them the exact same way and never had a problem. Never had no trailer wiggle, coming off an exit, hitting the brakes. Never had the trailer try to outrun the truck, none of that. It's rode just fine. So, would it be better on the trailer to load the Talon backwards? Yes, it probably would. Have I ever had any issues to where I feel like that I should try it? Absolutely not. It is such a monumental task to cram all of that into that box. I'm not going to try to get fancy by backing it in and all that. So as long as it's not giving me any problems, I don't see any point to change anything. Another question, is this trailer F-150 towable? Yes, it is. Would an F-150 like it? No, it won't. This trailer has 750 pound tongue weight. It pulls on a 2 5/16 ball. Fully loaded with the Talon, fishing poles and all that, we're pushing around 7,800 pounds. So, are you in specs for an F-150? You're right at the line, but yes, I'm telling you, you could do it. I don't think it would be a very enjoyable experience, and I think at the end of the day, you're going to do so much damage to the truck over a short period of time trying to pull this. If you're pulling it empty, it's not a problem. I pull it around the yard with my little tractor on the bucket, and it's not a problem. The problem comes putting the Talon in it, loading it out, and trying to stop it. Even Double D, being an F-350, doesn't know this trailer's back there until you come off an exit ramp at 60 miles an hour and you hit the brakes or you hit the Jake brake, and you can feel this trailer pushing. As big as this truck is, you can still feel the trailer putting momentum against the truck. So with an F-150, I don't think I'd do it. It would do it. It's the matter of whether or not you should. Are you going to put your life, your wife's life, and all that at jeopardy? So I would go with a smaller trailer. If I was going to try to do it with an F-150, I don't know that I'd even try to do a toy hauler at all with an F-150. That's just my personal opinion. Double D was bought, our last trailer fully loaded weighed 27,000 pounds, and that's what Double D was bought for. I didn't trade trucks when we downgraded trailers. One thing about my truck, I don't have to worry about what I hook to. I never worry about it, I just hook and ride. This trailer is a fifth of what this truck's capability is. If you've got an F-150 and you're thinking about getting a 280 to haul your RZR, your Talon around, I'm just going to tell you to do your homework. Not telling you that it can't be done, but you're probably going to have to add air on the suspension. You're probably going to have to add a second braking axle to the trailer. This one's only got one. A second braking axle wired in series would help out a little bit, would help out a lot actually. But Double D's got a Jake brake. Double D's F-350, I don't worry about getting it stopped. But if you're going down that road, do your research, do your homework. I don't know that there's a better option out there for a toy hauler and an F-150. You may just be better off pulling on a flatbed trailer and staying in hotels. I'm not being a jerk, when it comes to safety, I don't play around with it. So do your homework. If you're up against your load rating on your F-150 or your 1500, whatever you drive, just do your homework, all right? Because pulling it ain't the problem. It's when you come off that exit ramp and there's a stop sign, are you gonna stop or not? All right, Miss Julie, you got anything else?
Yeah, another thing that plays into that is how much your wife or girlfriend takes and places into the rig. Don't stack it down with all glass bowls and big metal pans, and because that all stuff loads up and adds up to your weight limits. We did a lot of decluttering and went to like Tupperware plastic plates and things like that to cut down on weight on the inside of the rig itself.
That's a really good point.
Hey everybody. It's Julie. So with the camper, the easiest way to start from the front, right? So Jason and I don't like the mattresses that come from the factory. So we go to any kind of furniture store that sells mattresses. Sam's Club actually has some really good ones that we've used before. Go get you a $500 mattress, replace it, pillow top. Trust me, you'll like it a whole lot better. So with that, ours has a little bit of storage. There's one big storage bin. We just keep toilet paper and paper towels up there. You don't have a whole lot of storage room or hanging room in the closet, but you do have a little bit. So everything that we do usually ends up in a bag in the back of the rig after we've already unloaded everything. Let's see. So right here you've got the kitchen area. Got all of my let me flip this around. Got all of my dishes and everything up there. Microwave, refrigerator. We don't use the stove a whole lot, but it's there. Typically we just went to a 2-burner outlet outside, so it sits up on top of the table, and then we just cook everything outside most times because I don't like the grease that gets in here. So for any of the campers out there, you want to use this stuff. Damp red. I use the gallon buckets, the ice cream buckets, and I put 2, one in the front, one in the back, and then I use a couple hanging bags. That's what these are. You can see all the moisture that's come out of this, and that's just in about 2 to 3 weeks time frame. So we got our little fireplace, little stowaway. We don't watch a whole lot of TV, but the dog does. She seems to like it pretty good when we go on rides. She gets to camp out and stay here. Of course, we've got our shower. Nothing too fancy about that. Anybody that goes camping, you definitely want these. These go up in the skylight. Definitely saves you time as far, or not time, but it saves you heat loss from going out those windows. Nothing really special about the bathroom. We did modify the cabinet down there. That used to be a full panel that went all the way up, and we cut it in half, so I had a little bit of extra storage room. So typically you guys don't get to see the unloading and loading process. So right here, Jason's carrying the fold-out table out. The 2 benches that make a bed are on either side of the camper, and those both have the fold-up legs, and then they've got latch straps that hold the bed sides up. But those are pretty cool. Good space saver. You gotta watch your back on them though when you're bringing your rig in and out. But you can see we've got quite a bit of stuff that we use during the course of our camping. We don't always take everything with us, so it's just kind of based on what our camping experience is as to what we take with us and what we leave at the house.
Alright everybody, so we're almost at the point we're ready to load MG, but I want to show you something before we do. Now we've never tried this, we don't know, but we have went to a 32-inch tire, which is a whole lot bigger than the 28s, the factories that came on it. We've also went to a beadlock rim system for the off-roading we do. The back is a live valve, so for it to go in that hole, I have to put it in sport mode so the whole thing drops down a couple inches. But MG with 32s will fit. We're going to show you that. But before we do that, one thing we know, one of the problems we know we've got is MG, the 32s will not clear the wheel wells. So the wheel wells on the trailer, the tire is too wide. So what we've done is we've bought some ramps from Eastwood. I've never used them, but they've got, Julie, can you remove it? Mm-hmm. They've got a removable ramp section, so once MG's up on the pedestal, we can still strap down. Now, You're gonna see it here with us. We've never tried it. We don't know nothing about it. We're just trying to make it work. All right, let's load this joker.
Hey everybody, so we've got MG loaded up in the rig. As you can see, she's tight. We're about 1.5 inches off the front of the rig on both sides. We had to move the straps back. And then as far as the buggy goes, the antenna doesn't even touch, but you've probably got a good 3 inches before
we'll have to put a bouncer string
before it gets to the top of the rig. At the back end, the front end, you've got plenty of clearance, probably 5 inches or so. But we do travel with a bouncer strain on it, so there's no ceiling uh-ohs. As far as the ramp set goes, love the ramp set. I don't know that we'll be able to remove the back ramp portion, which is okay. It's not a huge deal breaker. Oh, looks like Jason got that to slide out. So once you get him in, you can do that. Bounce it and slide it towards the inside of the rig. So we'll probably store those.
And it's a 3,600. It's a 3,600 pound pedestal. So I'll come down. I'll put a loop right here off of this E-track, and we'll show them all that. But I'll put a loop here, and then what we'll do is we'll strap across the tire, put it in place. So yeah, that's gonna work really good.
Okay, so what he's talking about, we've got one hook here at the front we'll latch onto, strap it over the top of the tire, and then take it back to our hook on the back side over here once we put it in, and that'll strap each individual tire back. The only thing that we'll end up changing with this is we're going to put a piece of angle iron on the front to give the car ramps a little bit more durability and a little something to push against. That way it doesn't mash them. But as far as car ramp sets go, total win. I like them. We'll do a follow-up on them after we travel with them and unload.
Alright everybody, just got MG loaded up as Miss Julie said. One thing I want to show you, I took a piece of E-track, screwed it to the wall, and everything we need to secure dirt bikes, buggies, four-wheelers, grills, tables, I've put on my E-track connectors, my rings, everything E-track. I store in one spot, and when we take it off, we hang it up. That way it's always here. These removable ramps, I think I'm gonna like it. Yeah, we'll check it out. And
we actually gained a couple inches on the back side by using those ramps.
yeah, well, the higher the front end goes. So as you can see, it is quite, if it fits it ships, I guess, but you've got room, got quite a bit of room on both sides, and I do feel like this is probably the maximum for this rig, as far as we can't go no higher. I can't do portals, I can't do nothing. This is all we can do. And I've got it set on sport, so it's actually 2 inches lower than riding in normal mode, and that's the only way it fits in there. Got it. So we got this thing loaded up, and we're in party deck mode right now. We got the back door set up like you would if you was on the party deck. But I just want to show you. So bear with me. We got OMG strapped down. Got a bouncer strain on it. It's not super tight. It's not pulling the suspension down. It's just to keep this thing from going that way. The E-Track, if you're not familiar with it, single-handedly, no joke, probably one of the best investments we've made for hauling and a toy hauler.
We've had them in every rig.
We've had them in every rig. And you can see up front the way the pedestal is strapped down with a strap, and you can see how the tire would be, it wouldn't go in there, but I think it's gonna work really good. Miss Julie,
let me take you around the front and I'll show you the tires and the final strap down on this. So from the back side, I know y'all saw it from the front side earlier. These work out really well with removable frames because, as you can see, you can go ahead and pull your strap all the way across your tire and strap it down on the other side. Now with that, you're gonna see with the door closed, you've got probably about 3 inches off the front of the rig. But all in all, it worked out really well. Pretty easy. It's a 2-person deal to be able to put the straps on the front, but the ramps are a big win for us. I really like those. How about you?
I do. Hey, while we're talking about big wins, when you're setting up your travel ride, sorry, that right there, what this is a trailer hub kit. It's 5 on 4.5. It's got Z-rated bearings in it. Got this from E-Trailer. The bearings are actually interchangeable if you don't want Z-rated bearings. I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't want Z-rated bearings, you can. This is an emergency backup. So we've burnt a bearing going down the road, and I didn't have one. Ended up taking the wheel off, taking a chain and dog and ratcheting the axle up off the ground and running on 3 wheels 10-15 miles till we got some place where I could have that fixed. Now you take off a cotter pin and a nut and just throw a whole hub kit, bearing and all in there. Some really cheap insurance. One of the other things I want to show you guys, this eliminates a lot of fights. But go ahead and invest in the, we've got the Assurion backup camera. Now, Miss Julie gets back there and she waves and she points and all that, and I like her being back there doing that. But that'll save you a lot of fights at the end of the day. I'm just saying. Alright, guys, before we get out of here, the ultimate question, I guess, Miss Julie, we've been on several trips now. Overall, how do you feel about physics?
Physics rig. I feel that it is a great rig to throw your buggy in and take off for the weekend and no worries. Plain and simple.
I'd agree with that. So we come from a life where we've had some really huge rigs and spent a lot of time in fifth wheels and all that, but we also lived in them 9-10 months out of the year. This rig for a weekend, maybe even a week, we're taking it to Colorado. I rode to the Rockies. We're going to Colorado in August, so we're going to be in this rig full-time for 2 weeks, and we'll give you an update then. But for me, this is a weekend warrior. Living in it full-time or long-term, no. But you know, to go hit the mud, hit the trails, go rock crawling for a weekend, stay the night in traveling 4 or 5 days at a shot, it's a good little rig. You go to look at one, do your math, do your homework, measure your buggy before you go, check load rating on the truck you're pulling with, things like that. But it's we've been blessed that we've got enough room to park this thing at the house, so we don't have to find storage and this, that, and the other. That's another thing. It takes up a lot of room. It takes a lot of room to turn it. But you know, if you're looking into this little toy hauler and you're thinking maybe it's for you, it's a good little rig. We've not had very many problems out of it. Most of the problems we have had have been completely, yeah,
factory issues.
Some factory issues and some Camper World issues. Don't even get me started on them clowns. But most of if you've ever bought a new rig, everybody knows the first 6 times you use it, something's going to break, something's going to leak. It takes a few minutes to get it worked out, but we're at the point we got all the kinks worked out. It's a good little rig. I do want to say though, if you've got kids, and
it can get tight.
It can get tight quick. So it's me and Julie and Holly, the dog. With us and the dog, when the Talon's in here and we're traveling to and fro, you got 22 feet of camper. I mean, it gets tight quick.
Keep in mind, she's a 70-pound boxer. So you get a big dog like that rolling around.
I think she's a lap dog. Yeah. But just do your homework, because once you buy it, you're stuck with it. We all know that. So that's all I've got. Miss Julie, you got anything?
I don't. Just make sure you do your homework, make sure you can stop, and make sure you can load up with your rig.
Alright, so if y'all don't know who we are, we're Jason and Julie, Adventures of Jason and Julie. This is our series, Road to the Rockies. You know, we're not trying to make a living at this, we're just trying to help the next guy. So like, subscribe, be a part of it, hang out with us. And for those of you that are following along, we love the interaction. Miss Julie does good at getting back to you. I'm sorry, I don't. But y'all keep it up. We love answering questions. We just love the interaction. We love y'all being a part of it. So thank you for everything. Hang out with us, hang on. We leave August 22nd, headed to Lake City via Pikes Peak. So hang out with us. We're going to do a video series of our road to the Rockies. Y'all hang out and hang on. And always, till next time, enjoy the ride.